What's up, people, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program, and we are going to take a quick look at the mission builder. That's right, a quick pre-look, and let's give you a quick peek at what is yet to come. So as the game first starts, what you will see is you have your start node here, and then you will have your spawn vessel node, and these are kind of connected. As you can see, they snap to one another, so that attaches it to this start node. So what we want to do is we want to tell this how we want to start this game. So we have the show roster, auto populate crew, which we'll go ahead and do that. And we will go ahead and show the mission briefing at the beginning, and it's going to be Gene Kerman. So we're going to keep all the rest of this available, but we are going to prohibit it to certain parts. So we don't want you to be going to space with this aircraft, so we're going to make it a little difficult to do that by selecting each of these that we don't want you to use. So by doing this, setting these all to red, you can't use these in your initial aircraft for this mission. We're just going to complete that out real quick. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to spawn, the vessel's going to be player built, doesn't matter what the name of the craft is, and we want you to launch from, we're going to select here, spaceplane hangar, brakes are going to be on start, and we want this to be the runway. And we're going to go ahead and add some vessel restrictions to cost, and we're going to set this to be less than or equal to 7,000. And then we're going to add one more, a part count, a number of parts of less than or equal to 30. That is very general, very generous when it comes to craft creation. So next thing we need to do, if you look over here on the left hand side, we have our currency and score, we have our Kerbal, location, resources and science, spawnable, utility, and vessel. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and we are going to, I would say crew assignment, but we're not going to do that quite yet. We can also set it so we have to take Kerbans to specific locations, but we're not going to do all that this time. We're going to tell it that we want to first launch an aircraft, so we need to go to vessel, and we need to say we need to be flying. And we want to be flying not just on any body, but we want to be flying on wow. That was so much fail. We want to be flying on Kerbin. And now we want to go ahead and select where we want to do. So we want to go ahead, the last thing we're going to do is land our vessel. And we want you also to go ahead and reach a specific altitude, which we can snap onto this flying vessel. And we are then going to say go to a specific location. And now we need to move this out of the way. You just drag that. So that's going to give us this here little chain of events that we want to create as our mission. We want you to create a vessel, we want you to launch the vessel, and we want you to go to a specific location, and then we want you to land. So that being said, we need to set this all up. So flying a vessel, any vessel on Kerbin, and we want to set this here. Event node, it hides the node and any others down the chain of this one, so you won't be able to see any other ones until you complete this message and this part of the mission, and this is going to show a message once you do. So let's go ahead and change this over to congrats, you are flying, flying, exclamation point, and it'll show that, and you can set for how long you want that message to show here. So next, what we want to do is we want to set our reach altitude. We want you to reach the altitude of at least 1,000 meters, but we'll set this to 1,000. Sounds good. We can also set it to less than 1,000. So we want you to reach less than 1,000, or we want you to be greater than 1,000. And you can also use this radar. So this, when checked, will measure the altitude relative to the ground, and we're gonna check that off. And next, we want to go to a specific location. We're gonna once again event node, show message, and we're gonna change this to welcome to the island. All right. And now we're going to actually set this to a specific location for this. So we want this to be Kerbal, and we need to now set our latitude and longitude. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and rotate this on around until we are back around, so we can see our locations here. Let's go ahead and rotate this up. And we're going to set this to here. Now our radius is extremely large right now. We're going to set this down so it's very specific to our island. And there you go. So you need to get all the way over to this island. And then we want you to land your vessel in a specific area on Kerbal. And that is also going to be, once again, let's go over to this here. Let's zoom in. And let's zoom in some more. A little too close. You can get really close on this. And we're going to set this to here. And we're going to knock our radius down. Once again, just to here. Alright, so with that set, we can also drag this on over here. Drag this to here. And we're good. So, now we have that set, we want you to go all the way over here and to land at this specific area. So now we actually need to chain these together. So let's go ahead on back up, make sure we have everything selected properly, and then we can come here and say, congrats on the safe landing. If they successfully land. Okay, so we want to event node once again, show message, and everything else here is good to go. We are all set. So let's go ahead and set this last one, because we want this to end here. So we're going to say end node. So that way we know that's where we're ending everything. So let's go ahead and chain these. Do that. It's very much like Physio. Click on this triangle here and connect it to the circle here, and now you have a chained event. We need to drag this up so you can see that a little better. There you go. And we're actually going to pull this to here. Well, these are kind of attached, so I'm hoping that should work for me. And now we kind of need to drag this up here. And let's move this. It's still kind of doesn't like, I like everything to be very neat and orderly, so it does kind of bug me. So we're going to drag these over a bit so it's nice and neat and orderly. And as you can see, it's very, very easy to use, very easy to drag things around, and everything just stays attached. Once again, very similar to how you would use Visio. Alright, so now we have our mission here. Let's go ahead and save our mission, which is going to force us to actually enter in the mission information and details. So info, we want to say create and fly your first airplane. And here, if you had a mods list, you can grab your mods list here. And here you can also put your name, which a lot of people would like to do. You have your play banners, success and fail, and your hard mission in case your mission is extremely difficult. Here you can go and say flying vessel, go to, landed, or reach altitude. Now I don't want to say or. I don't like the or, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and we'll change that. Completion bonus, we're going ahead and add 5 points there. And that will then give us the ability to offer rewards. Mission, modify mission score, we'll say by 1. And now we'll go here to awards. When the player gets 5 points, we will give them a gold award. And all Kerbal survived, they will also get a nice little saint. We can also change the mission flag here. So in case we want them to use our specific flag. Now let's hit OK. So we have here this reach altitude that looks like it's going to be problematic. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off and delete it. So now, and you'll see there was no out connector and the node is not an in node. So that one was kind of snapped on there and there was no way for it to do anything. I would have had to loop it within. But since I didn't feel like doing that, I went ahead and just removed it so we no longer have that caveat. And now you see there is no validation items to report. Our mission is good and clean. We're going to go ahead and give this mission, launch your first aircraft. Part 1. So let's go ahead and save this, and now we need to go ahead and test the mission. Alright, so here it's going to say build the start vessels to start the mission. Okay, we're good to go. Create and fly your first airplane. Thank you, Gene. We'll go ahead and do that. So we have our very limited parts. You see everything else is removed. We are allowed to use these 3 parts to begin our aircraft. So we can't exceed 7,000 funds and our current cost is 1,600. Let's go ahead and build a quick aircraft to show you how this will play out. Alright, so as you can see here, we are within our boundaries here. We are at 6,620 for our funds, and we are at 24 parts. Let's see how well balanced our craft is and see if this design will work for us. We just need to drag this forward some, and our craft is actually ready to go. We're actually going to pull this up a bit, and this needs to rotate down. Alright, so that looks like it will work for me. Now, something else you can do here, we can right click on here, configure vessel naming, and we can actually set these different items here. So we're going to call this vessel Test Aircraft 1. Alright, accept. And now we're going to go ahead and set our pitch, our roll, and our pitch. And we're also going to increase our brakes and our damper strength on these because these seem to have a bit of bounce to them right now. Alright, and our craft is actually ready to go. Now you'll see we don't have any yaw control. Do not worry about that yaw control because it will work out fine. We don't need yaw control, we just need yaw. So let's go ahead and save our craft and launch. Alright, as you can see, our craft is pretty well designed, and hopefully we won't scrape the ground too hard when we do this. Right off the back, you see our engines are currently active, so that is going to restrict us from launching right off the back. And we're going to hit our engines, go full throttle, turn on our caps lock, turn off our brakes. We're ready to rock, we're ready to fly, let's do this. We're just going to fly over to the base, to the island base, and see if we can land very gently on the island base. Everybody has fun over there. Why not us? Welcome to the island base. Well, as you can see, I did that all wrong because it shouldn't be saying that quite yet. So I should say go to the island base, not welcome to the island base. Should say welcome to the flight or something of the like. So as you can see here, we can go back and see our mission briefing. Cool, thank you. And we'll see our mission requirements here. And we can create checkpoints. It actually makes checkpoints for you as you are flying. So you can go back and you can test different things for the aircraft. Now we're going to have to go up to about 1,000 meters up, but that caveat is removed for right now. But we're going to do that anyway. And then, once we get up here, we're just going to flatten back out, fly over to the base, and then land. And you can see here, once we go to the base, it's going to say, welcome to the island base, congrats on the safe landing after we're landed, hopefully safely landed. But they create checkpoints. It's going to let you create additional checkpoints. It does automatically create them, but this is going to give you additional checkpoints that you can then jump back to in case something goes horribly wrong in your testing. So let us get on down, because I don't want to be too high in the air when we get over to the base. And I want to then gently land our craft. Some other things I've noticed is when I go here and I turn on my interior overlay, you can see that, yes, you will still see parts of your guide through the different parts. It's okay. But when I go into the cockpit, you can see here, the Mark 1 actually has higher visibility again. It's all moved down. The IVA is a bit higher. This is fantastic. I was just complaining about this and I love this now. Thank you, squad. But if you go back out, and your interior overlay is still now visible. So you actually have the ability to jump back and forth from there. So let's go ahead and land over here. Hopefully this works. Let's hope and pray a lot. And you can see there, we have our different nodes here popping up. Go to this radius. We are almost there, and once we're there, it's going to tell us to then land anywhere on here. But as you can see, there's not very many places you can really land on here, so obviously we're going to pick the runway. Let's go ahead and kill our thrust, hit our brakes, flare off some of the speed, come down some. This craft glides really well, so I'm just going to have to flare a lot of this off. There we go. We're pretty good now. We have a pretty good stall speed. Alright. So let's go here. Let's try to land our beast. Looks like we're still not at our checkpoint yet. So let's see if we can... I thought I set our radius a bit higher, but we're going to try to fly closer to that radius. So let's kick our engines up higher. We're still not stalling out, which is pretty good. Which tells me the capabilities of this aircraft design is a lot better than I thought it would be. So let's see if we can get closer to this node here. You can see we're closing in, closing in. And you know what? I think I see what I did. Because if you see, the max surface velocity I put on there for coming here is actually set so low that I would have to be landed in the first place. So what we're going to do, kill our thrust, and we're going to chance a crazy landing up in the mountains. Because why not? Because why not? Let's try this. So let's get down, get our speed down, glide closer to the ground. We're going with the curvature of the ground, gently, ever so gently. Oh, hey! We have landed! There you go. We have our saint. We got gold award, and we have landed successfully. We can now save and quit, restart mission, or close. Let's go ahead and save and quit. So what we can do now is, if we wanted, well, of course we want to save, but we can also go and we can leave out of here and take a look at our mission. We can actually export it, as you saw here earlier, but we're not going to do that. We're going to hit OK. We're going to leave, and we can go back here and we can go to our missions. And now we can actually see our community created missions. Here is our mission here. Launch your first aircraft, part 1. And you can see everything here. Objectives, our mission mods that it will require, the high score. And we could then hit continue to fly this mission if we so wanted. So that is kind of a quick look at the mission builder, some of the different things that we have coming up, which is really awesome to see. I like the idea that we have things we can share out to one another. It's another step closer to anything that is close to multiplayer, which you know me, I love. I love co-op games, I love multiplayer, so anything closer will make me squeal like a little baby. But for now, we're going to get on out of here. That is the mission builder, a nice little quick look, and hopefully you have enjoyed that. If you have, drop me in a like, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video. For now, this is your boy Jatwan, I'm out. Peace.